Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This one's going to be a little different, so I'm going to kick it off and get right into it. Basically, I want to get this with the intent of getting this video to Maximilian, the dude himself. I think it's really important to connect these theories, to kind of tie these canon thoughts together. So this is going to be a level 4. That's for you, Max. This is a level 4. And I want to go to a discussion, and I want everybody to check this out. So if you go to the Easy Allies channel, there's a discussion that they're talking about the connections in the game and making canon and making thought of this. But what was interesting is 58.48 into the interview, Max is discussing the choice, and they're all discussing actually the choice of music and essentially the sense of music used at the edge of creation. So the last scene in the game, the edge of creation, they talk about, the choice of music is a theme called the theme of the ancients. So the theme of the ancients is kind of key to kind of connecting the rest of the theory, as music plays a huge impact in how we interpret scenes. And I will loosely talk about this at the end, but this scene in significance here, I kind of want to talk about Cloud's role, and if we saw a little bit earlier how they entered into the edge of creation, I think Cloud is a conduit. I believe Cloud is a conduit, but not only do I think Cloud is a conduit, I think he is a guardian. And this scene in particular is a huge MacGuffin, which I will talk about later. So what Sephiroth really wants to do is, as he asks for Cloud's hand, he says,
"Cloud, lend me your strength. Let us defy destiny together."
or something along those lines. He wants Cloud to give him access. He needs to break Cloud's will in order for him to let him to the promised land or the edge of creation. And there's so many direct nods. I'm going to just throw another thing in here. When you're looking at the edge of creation, also look at the parallels at the beginning of the game, also from the OG, but from this one as well, with the sword in the background, when he's staring at the edge of the creation, Cloud, sorry. And then let's look at the title screen. I mean, it's I always got from when I played the original that this was after the journey. Even when I was a kid, I felt like this is the beginning, but this is the end of the story. This is the last thing you see where, after the journey's done, his sword is found stuck in the ground like this. And it's almost to kind of imbue the idea that this journey happened a long time ago and you're about to go back with these characters and relive it. And I think this was intentionally done. This is an iconic title screen. So why not reuse that symbolism and have that canonically make sense? So before we leave the edge of creation, I kind of want to talk a little bit about the choice in this image I'm about to show. So basically this image right here, boom, shows us what seems to be a silhouette of a tree. Also, it seems to have a looming figure in it. I don't know what that is. The choice to have space surrounding you on all sides and then have that impending galaxy has to mean something, and so does that red fog. So I want people to think about that. I really want to get people talking about what these possibilities could mean, and maybe look into what biblical references could be taken out of this. Maybe the tree of life, Adam and Eve story, the creation story, there could be lots of things that could be tied to this, but I really want to get into the music part of what I introduced in the beginning and tie it off. So why is it important that we connect the music? Well, as we saw here, the theme of the ancients was selected and chosen for a reason. Well, I would say in chapter 17, the choice of music and the music I am choosing to play right now is a home away from home. And I think home away from home means home away from home, meaning the ancients or the Cetrus city.
You okay?
Now, if you watched my last video, I kind of tied in the illustration, and I kind of want everybody to focus on the illustration, but I also, from a film perspective, want to show and showcase staging at a certain part. But I'll go back to the illustration. So the illustration you see up on the wall, the delineation between that and the original. We know in the original that our characters are actually in a cell. They don't actually get to go to this room. So this is new. Why it's important is in direct relation to the illustration on the wall. As indirect as they possibly could be, they don't really talk about the illustration, but they talk about the meaning of her being an ancient. She tells the group that she is indeed an ancient or a Cetra, and that she lived in this room with her mother growing up. Now, I kind of want to leave off on this as I don't really want to talk too much, but I'm going to play this scene out to leave with you, but I really want you guys to pay close attention to the end of the scene, is where I'm going to cut it off before Wedge says any of the stuff he does, and then you go up. But focus on this, how she says the promised land and what she looks at when she says the promised land. And I think with all these connections wrapped up, I hope you take the same thing away that I took away. In the future, guys, I will make a lot more content as I have a lot more reveals I need to do or have. And I hope this gets out to you, Max. And I hope we get a chance to sit down and talk, because I'd love to tell you a lot about what's on my mind about the game. Thanks for taking the time, guys. Please subscribe, and I'll catch you in the future or the past, depending on this timeline.
Unto her promised land shall we one day return. By her loving grace and providence, may we take our place in paradise.
You know it.
Yeah, well, honestly, I thought that part was just a fairy tale.
Shinra thinks it's true. They've been searching for the Promised Land for a long time.